protection, your loving guidance. And to all in the collective, please. Hi. With the 4th of July being yesterday, you know, and I was just thinking about how people celebrate, and I've spoken on this before about our culture. I've written blogs about it in the past, but I really explore this whole notion that celebrations need to be marked with alcohol. Whether there is New Year's Eve, it's not New Year's Eve without that glass. Yesterday, the 4th of July, in fact, all weekend, people use it as an opportunity to clink, clink, clink. So I just think about why. Why do we accept that as a cultural norm that we cap off a celebration with a toasty? Why are we celebrating or adding to our celebrations and celebrating the consummation of alcohol? I don't understand, because if you think about it, alcoholism leads to drunk driving, abusive parenting. A lot of people I've known over the years, the number one link to their child abuse, or when they were younger, being admonished physically, I guess I should say, let me correct that, being admonished physically has been connected to their parents indulging in alcohol. It is, you know, one of the roots of evil. So I just don't know why. Why do we accept it? Why do we continue this behavior? Why do we continue it as socially acceptable when it is indeed not? It is not acceptable to intake anything that would sway, influence you to behave, act out in a way that's not according to being loving, kind, patient, clear thinking. You know, God gave us these capabilities for a reason, so that we can trust each other, respect each other, love each other, be good to our family and friends, and not irritable at the very least, or do outright dangerous acts, you know, against each other at the very most. So with that, let me dig into my new homemade deck for the first time and see what I can come up with for this message. Let's see here, okay. I know how to handle these yet. Really new, okay? All right, wish me luck. I'm gonna need it. Okay. What do you want to say about this? Any clues or a message for this at all? Everything feels chaotic before alignment. So with drinking alcohol, if you're on a spiritual path, it definitely will throw you into chaos. I can't imagine your chakras being aligned under the influence. So yeah, everything would feel chaotic before you can feel aligned. And no, I'm not a party girl, never have been. I've always been that kind of like level-headed person. I was never drawn to the party scene. To me, it was beneath me, you know, and but I've known people who indulge, and I've seen how it changes their behavior and their decision making, and just like that. And I don't know, why is it acceptable? I don't. So I guess me talking about it is in hopes that somebody, even if it's one person, starts to question it at least. Even if you continue this is part of your lifestyle and you think, oh, it's part of being an adult, it's really not. But if you want to continue thinking that way, at least you will have heard me out, okay? You'll think about it. High Vibe came out with Sage. Now, when I wrote sage, I remember I was thinking of saging your home. But with this, it might mean be sage advice, doing something, taking this sage advice, or living your life according to your own inner sage advice so that you can be high vibing. And then we have hiding here abundance. So I don't know. Maybe alcohol is expensive. Perhaps somebody out there, you would be more abundant if your money wasn't going toward alcohol consumption. Okay, let's get some more. Okay. The chemistry was real, but so was the chaos. There's that word again, chaos. Everything feels chaotic before alignment, and then the chemistry was real, but so was the chaos. I'm thinking of a date. You know, you're at a party, a lot, especially young people. You meet people. It's all in the mix. You know, the drinking, the dating, the hook. You know, so it can lead to chaos, especially for young. Well, not just young women. Anybody. I'll say that now. Especially anybody can be vulnerable when you're drinking. Not only are you vulnerable because you lose your senses and your, you know, your guardianship over yourself, but also people are likely to be able to put something into that without you noticing it. That's why they like to use alcohol to do that. And it can be chaotic for you. The repercussions can be, you could catch something. You know what I mean? You could be led to make a decision based on a child, bringing a child into this world that you really didn't count on doing that, especially not with this person. So I think that's the chaos that this is alluding to. Just keep yourself safe. Keep yourself safe. Your body is your temple. It's sacred. It's not to be abused. It's not to be treaded on or taken advantage of. This is too many. But what's on top? Endings and death. Yeah. Alcohol can lead to that, as we know. One of these. Okay, can you fly out, please? Let's see. One more. Thank you. The test was hidden in kindness. The test was hidden in kindness. The test was hidden in kindness. Okay, well, maybe, you know, speaking of alignment, part of your journey, you know, we go through tests whether we know it or not. Most of the time we don't know when we're being tested till after. But you could be tested to be kind to someone. And if you are a chronic drinker, now I'm talking more than just a party goer or an occasional drinker for holidays and occasions and the like. This is someone I'm picking up on, that even though you are spiritual, you are on a path, you are in your purpose, but you have this addiction to drinking. Maybe your part of your test was, will you be kind to an elderly person in passing, kind while you're driving on the road, kind to a stranger or to your own children. Maybe there was a test and you would fail it because of the alcohol, making you more irritable, behave more aggressively. That's what I'm getting from that. So it could cause you to have setbacks on your journey, setbacks in your leveling up in your ascension. Alcohol cannot be part of the ascension path, is what I'm getting from that. So let's go with some animal spirit cards I'm led to do. What do you want to say about this message, animal spirits? Coyote spirit, Trust in divine detours. Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. Let me get one more with that. It stumped me. You mean what you said, and you said what you meant, spirit. Okay, trust in divine detours. Related to alcoholism. Of course I know what that means, but what would that mean, guys? Related to alcoholism. Trusting in a divine detour. Maybe by giving up the drinking and taking that leap of faith, trusting in the divinity in that choice, and where life can open up for you in ways that you didn't dream of. Because again, you're on your path. Making that sacrifice, it's not easy, especially if you have an addiction. But making that sacrifice and following through with it, God will reward you tremendously for that, because it's so hard to do. That's what I'm getting from that. Yeah. And I don't underestimate the addiction, you know, and how difficult it is. I'm just saying, before it leads to an addiction, for you occasional drinkers, step away from it. Don't think that it means you're an adult. Grab a cranberry juice or some sparkling water or icy, nice chilled water to replace that, you know, or a cup of tea to toast with. But if you are already down that road, then get some help. I would advise spiritual counseling, spiritual, even one-on-one with yourself counseling, digging deep, going into hermit mode. There'll be some dark nights initially, but at the end you will come out and it'll be bright and sunny, and you'll be thankful that you did it. So let's see, I'm going to get a message from Archangel Michael. I feel you in this reading, and I think you have something to say about alcoholism or choosing to make it okay. Michael, believe and trust. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. Believe and trust that you can let go of this cultural influence or pressure, that you can let go of the addiction and get through it with the angels by your side, especially. That's what I'm getting from this. And yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about this. Hopefully it hit you the right way, not the preachy teachy way. I'm sorry if I come off that way at times, but I really care about this, especially. I always have, and I'm just dumbfounded. I don't understand why people choose to take that drink or take on that lifestyle, knowing what it has caused already. So with that, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And indeed, I will see you next time.